for all the examples we've seen. Him suing Showtime for $300 million, him foreclosing on multiple properties, him losing on investments on multiple properties, him buying a lot of depreciating assets, and him all of a sudden looking to box very much in the year 2026. Floyd losing money Mayweather, as the chatter says, is in dire straits financially.
Because they don't like him. They don't like him because everything that he says is about money. There's nothing else. There's no values. There's no... The people's champ, like Ali, was standing for the same things.
Right.
The audience was standing for. You know, he doesn't have any of that. It's just money. You know what I'm saying? And that, he knows you don't like him.
Some people will say, you know, he's suing now because of his gambling habits, which was not hidden. It was not a secret. He would post, not Teddy Atlas talk about anything that wasn't out there. He would post some of his tickets, his betting tickets that he bet, and they were large bets. And so some people say, oh yeah, like you said, he was Mayweather, Money Mayweather, and now he's suing because he.
Once seen as one of the richest figures in sports, Floyd Mayweather Jr. now seems to be heading toward decline. Across boxing, emotions range from shock to frustration as legal issues begin to surround him. At the same time, Manny Pacquiao is reportedly considering legal action after Mayweather's recent comments about their past fight.
That's in their underwear in grandmother's basement or wherever the frick they are, taking pot shot at people because of their misery, because of their misfortune, because they're in a bad place. Shame on you. And shame on the people out there. I know that there's some of them, everyone knows I don't really read that internet unless somebody shows me specifically some stuff. And I saw some of the stuff. I didn't want to see any more, so I told them, don't show me anymore. But I saw enough to see what was out there. People taking shots at a great fighter, Mayweather. Probably the same people that were, applauding him and saying how great he was at one point, and now they're taking shots at him like they're almost...
New reports suggest Mayweather's fortune may not be as secure as before, with claims of debt, liens, foreclosures, and heavily financed assets like luxury homes and his private jet. Creditors are said to be closing in, even over unpaid jet fuel. His statement calling the Pacquiao fight an exhibition has also sparked controversy, especially since he allegedly accepted advance money for a professional bout, raising contract concerns.
And Thurman, apparently he did an interview, said that it was an exhibition, that these guys didn't have anything to prove, that their legends were already set in stone, and that it would be an exhibition. He wasn't sure if it was going to be at the Sphere. Apparently, that is not true. According to a Boxing Scene article that interviewed Jazz Mathur, the CEO of Manny Pacquiao Promotions, said that, yes, the fight is contracted for the Sphere, booked at the Sphere, scheduled at the Sphere for September 19th. It is booked as a professional fight, not as an exhibition. It was never booked as an exhibition, which makes sense because Netflix got behind it, and I would assume that they would not want an exhibition. We said the other day, I think it was actually yesterday, we said that this fight has to be a real fight and not an exhibition because, one, Netflix is involved, two, Manny Pacquiao wants that get.
On Twitter, Mike Carpenter criticized Mayweather's remarks, saying they clash with Netflix's announcement and could lead to a contract breach. Wade Plemons added that taking advance payments for a pro fight and later calling it an exhibition raises serious concerns. He suggested Mayweather may be misleading both Netflix and Pacquiao's team, also pointing to a past issue involving Logan Paul, where Mayweather reportedly made $10 million.
It's a real fight. You got the promotion saying this is a real fight. You got Floyd Mayweather saying, no, this is an exhibition. There's two things that are happening here. Either somebody messed up in paperwork or in communication or in some form of getting this fight together, misspoke to one of these guys, or Floyd Mayweather is trying to scam Netflix. That is the only two things that can be possible here. Because we then get the report, as of yesterday, that Floyd Mayweather has already taken a cash advance payment of his purse for the upcoming Manny Pacquiao rematch on Netflix, despite it currently being in jeopardy. I don't even know how that's possible. Who gave him a cash advance before they even got to the fight? I understand like paying some up front to secure the fight, but paying everything?
Teddy Atlas called the situation unfortunate, explaining many fighters struggle due to poor financial guidance. In his view, this is where things went wrong for Mayweather.
Risk everything. They risk so much, and then everything they took the risk for sometimes is lost. Whether it was Joe Louis, whoever, it never becomes not sad or unfortunate to hear. Never. It's look, you could say it's their responsibility. It is. It is. You got to know what's going on. But there are also sharks in this business, in any business. And sometimes these athletes, I won't even specify fighters. We're talking about fighters. But you hear it in football, Bud. You were around it. You hear it in basketball. Sometimes these athletes, they don't have the right people around them to look out for them. You know?
Joe Arenitz, linked to Mayweather's business ventures, is now facing legal attention on X. Reports say Pacquiao's team may sue over the Netflix fight. This is not the only issue, as Arenitz has a past involving prison. Pacquiao insists the fight is professional, not an exhibition. And since Mayweather signed a contract, he is expected to compete officially.
Is that what he's feeling? But he signed a real fight.
So it's for sure.
Yes, the contract that we signed is a real fight.
Real fight. Okay. Yeah, because I know Lee said
I want to fight an exhibition.
no exhibition. It's either real fight or nothing.
Yeah, it's a real fight. Yeah.
Sphere still in Las Vegas.
That's the contract that he signed. I mean.
Okay, so it's still happening then.
Yes, to
Joe Rogan noted that Mayweather dominated boxing for over a decade as one of America's top stars. His 2015 win over Pacquiao was the richest fight of its time, showing his elite defense, speed, and the money-made image that built his fame and fortune.
Changed the whole thing.
He knew what he was doing.
He definitely did. It would have been an interesting fight had he fought Pacquiao when he was younger in his prime. It would have been a very different
Would have been
fight.
a more interesting fight.
Much more different.
Because
Much more difficult
any
fight.
go-forward physical warrior like Pacquiao is going to wear down.
Right. Exactly.
And any brilliant counterpuncher like Floyd is going to retain more.
Yeah.
So he did.
Yeah, it would have been much more interesting when they were younger. Also, the fact that Pacquiao fought him with a bum shoulder. That was a disaster, too.
Money talks.
Yeah. I mean, look, I guess he was faced with this thing, legacy, or, I mean, it was the biggest pay-per-view of all time in boxing, correct?
I believe so.
I believe so. And I think it was like $4 million.
Mayweather has long lived lavishly, spending on watches, cars, and huge checks like $18 million with ease. He built an image of being untouchable. But now he's filed a lawsuit against Showtime and Steven Espinoza, claiming $340 million is owed. This case highlights the gap between his public image and the financial disputes behind the scenes.
I know some people gonna be like, well, you said I didn't want to say I was active because that's normal. I said I wasn't activated. I knew what I said. So a lot of times I'm like, oh, you didn't say it right. I knew I said it right. I knew what I said. I knew what I posted.
I don't really care how much you make, bro. I feel like writing an $18 million check has to feel some sort of weight.
That's crazy.
I didn't want to do it. Of course, I'm like, who wants to give up basically 20 million?
You wrote 18,180,000,000.00. Like, bro, that's crazy.
You know, I got huge deals on the table, so I'm always making shake.
What's the biggest thing you got working right now?
I can show this. Come here. So come here. So
Dude, what is it?
look at this long. Okay. So right here.
That's crazy.
I just keep stuff on the low.
Yeah, my math don't work like that.
50 Cent said many dislike Mayweather due to his focus on money and constant talk about wealth. Fans often root against him, but he turns that into profit. The hate boosts pay-per-view sales, helping him become one of boxing's richest and most controversial figures.
Fight for. And I'm like, and he said the prize. So it's okay for you to watch the fight. Don't nobody watch Floyd fight to see how amazing he is. They watch it for the opportunity to see him lose.
Right.
Because they don't like him. They don't like him because everything that he says is about money. There's nothing else. There's no values. There's no, like the people's champ, like Ali was standing for the same things.
Right.
The audience was standing for. You know, he doesn't have any of that. It's just money. You know what I'm saying? And that
Max Kellerman explains that athletes who overspend and ignore investments often face problems later. He says even top earners can struggle without proper planning. Using Mayweather as an example, he shows how poor financial decisions can lead to debt, legal issues, and even a return to the ring.
Floyd, with the 3 fights that's coming up. Floyd Mayweather, Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, Mike Tyson, Floyd Mayweather. I think the guy's from Greece or something like that. What do you feel about great champions doing these kind of fights as well? Or just these kind of fights that's going on?
They need money. Yeah, when you need money. This is the problem with boxing. You think about financial literacy, right? And you talk about like NFL players or NBA players. There's support systems for those dudes. There's nothing like that for fighters. They got to figure it out all themselves. And if you're a fighter, that means you did not have options.
Right.
Yeah. It's not like basketball or football. If you could, like, by the way, football players couldn't play basketball or they play basketball. It's a better deal, right? That's if you can, you do. And boxers couldn't do either one of those things, right? They're too small or they got hurt, whatever it is. And so you're dealing with
Kellerman also criticized Mayweather's spending on luxury items and gambling. He warned that living without a financial plan creates instability. Many athletes, he says, retire with little despite earning millions. Mayweather's case shows how unchecked spending can lead to long-term issues.
Or kind of structure in place to help them at all. And so what usually happens with almost every fighter who ever lived, not everyone, but most of them, is they wind up going broke at a certain point, right? First of all, taxes, child support, all that kind of stuff, that promoters, this and that, and then just the way you spend your money. Could be bad investments. You could try to do the right thing and wind up with bad investments. You could just spend too much. And the thing is, if you're not the best in the world anymore, but you're one of, let's say, the 50 best in the world at what you do in your weight class, still hard to tell that dude, you can make $100 million. No, don't do that because you're old.
Wade Plemons reports that Mayweather already received advance money for a Pacquiao rematch on Netflix, confirmed by ESPN and Mike Coppinger. He says Mayweather has a history of taking advances while protecting his record. Now, Pacquiao's team claims he signed multiple contracts and took several payments, which would lead to legal trouble.
And this is via ESPN. This is not, random Twitter person reporting this. I think Mike Coppinger also reported the same thing. If this is to be believed, Floyd took a cash advance and then undermined the promotion of his own fight to try to protect his 50-0 record and still make a bag. Floyd has done this for years. He has done this for years, especially after his pro career. When he was doing these exhibitions, he would not show up to things he was obligated to do, take advances. Even the Deji fight, you can ask Deji, I was there. Floyd demanded that they pay him some insane amount of money or he wasn't going to fight Deji while he was at the venue. And they wanted to change gloves and do all this stuff. And I think they actually did it. They paid Floyd to do it. And I've seen this with a bunch of his exhibitions. And obviously we know about the Logan Paul situation, how Floyd shopped his fight to a different company after.
Jason Whitlock points to rumors about Mayweather's finances, including bankruptcy claims and property issues, as a reason for his return. He says Mayweather spent heavily in Las Vegas to maintain a flashy image. Now at 49, his comeback shows the effects of overspending and poor planning.
Stories coming out about Floyd Mayweather, him auctioning off property, him being in bankruptcy, him being out of money, and that's why he's going to fight Mike Tyson. Saw this incredible tweet where a guy listed all the things Floyd Mayweather wasted money on while living in Las Vegas and just living for the culture. That's what Floyd Mayweather is an example of. The stupidity of living for the culture and trying to be relatable and trying to be this incredible icon or example of, look how much money I've made. He's blown it all. And now at 49 years old, he's got to go back into the boxing ring and continue to fight.
Paulie Malignaggi believes Mayweather's controversial statements may actually be a strategy. By creating debate, he keeps attention on the fight and boosts interest, whether it is an exhibition or not. The buzz increases views and revenue, turning public reaction into profit.
Mayweather has to agree to whatever the contract is. If it's a fight, I think one of the comments the other day really made a point that, one of the comments in our chat made a point that, has really stuck with me. That Mayweather has to know the terms he agreed to. Come on, I mean, you can't just sign something and not know those terms. He's got to know that if it is, in fact, it has to be a fight, then he would do this. And he knows he's got to go through with a fight. He may just be saying this just to sell the fight in general, just you sell it as, make it a talking point, make it a controversial point, so that people want to wind up, talking about it more. It becomes a topic of discussion, and then from that perspective, people end up watching. More people end up watching it because it becomes more of a polarizing topic of conversation. So I don't know. I see this eventually getting straightened out. I think it has to. I mean, Floyd has to fight right now. I think Mayweather probably wants to fight right now. I mean, Mayweather wants to fight and probably has to fight right now, and Mayweather has to agree to whatever the contract is. If it's a fight. I think one of the comments the other day really made a point that, one of the comments in our chat made a point that, has really stuck with me. That Mayweather has to know the terms he agreed to. Come on, I mean, you can't just sign something and not know those terms. He's got to know that if it is, in fact, it has to be a fight, then he would do this. And he knows he's got to go through with a fight. He may just be saying this just to sell the fight in general, just to sell it as, make it a talking point, make it a controversial point, so that people want to wind up, talking about it more. It becomes a topic of discussion, and then from that perspective, people, end up watching. More people end up watching it because it becomes more of a polarizing topic of conversation. So I don't know. I see this eventually getting straightened out. I think it has to. I mean, Floyd has to fight right now. I think Mayweather probably wants to fight right now. I mean, Mayweather wants to fight and probably has to fight right now. And
Floyd with the 3 fights that's coming up: Floyd Mayweather, Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, Mike Tyson, Floyd Mayweather. I think the guy's from Greece or something like that. What do you feel about great champions doing these kind of fights as well, or just these kind of fights that's going on?
They need money.
Damn.
Yeah, when you need money, this is the problem with boxing. You think about financial literacy, right? And you talk about like NFL players or NBA players. There's support systems for those dudes. There's nothing like that for fighters. They got to figure it out all themselves. And if you're a fighter, that means you did not have options.
Right.
Yeah. It's not like basketball or football. If you could, by the way, football players couldn't play basketball, or they play basketball. It's a better deal, right? That's if you can, you do. And boxers couldn't do either one of those things, right? They're too small, or they got hurt, whatever it is. And so you're dealing with